So do you know the year when they lost their last final, their last European final?
Oh, good
I
question.
give you a hint. I wasn't born. And I'm
Sorry.
not the youngest.
Sorry. Would it be like 1995? I don't know.
Mm,
I don't really know.
nearly. They lost their last final back in 1981.
Jesus.
Yeah. And since then,
We
they
had
went
color.
all the way 8 times.
We had color TV, by the way, in 1981. So
Yeah.
that's not
So
that bad. Oh, okay. Well, go on. I'm slightly concerned about tomorrow, but I'm not there. So
but there is hope. I will show you. And
there is
just a
hope.
few moments.
Okay.
Yeah, there is hope.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Keep on listening, guys. There is hope. And welcome to RB Global Tracks, which is Leipzig's fresh RB Leipzig podcast in English. And it's brought to you directly from Leipzig by Richard and Mario. And amongst us, we are season ticket holders, passionate supporters, and not very neutral local pundits. And both of us have been following Leipzig football since our childhood days. So, if you want to hear about RB Leipzig, capture the mood of the fans in the city, and if you want to go beyond numbers and statistics, you are in the right place. We're delighted to welcome you on board. Let's go. Auf geht's, Leipziger Jungs. Good evening, Richard. How are you today?
Good evening, Mario, or should I say good morning, Mario? So, because I think we shouldn't make too much out of it. So, please tell our listeners why we have some slightly issues with our sound quality today.
Well, I'm using a different mic. I'm traveling. I'm in the States at the moment, in the middle of nowhere in northern Indiana, and it's 10 to 12. So that means good morning, Richard. How are you today?
Thank you. So, we are 7 hours apart. So, I have to care about our dinner tonight. So, let's make a quick episode and let's look forward to the match of the year.
Great. Spaghetti it is, I suppose, isn't it? Is it spaghetti or pizza?
And no, it's a schnitzel
Oh,
with the potato and I don't know what it is, kohlrabi. Well,
Kohlrabi. I have no idea. Some sort of cabbage, guys. It's very healthy on its own. But with schnitzel, I think you spoiled it. Thank you, Richard. So today we're talking about we're having to look back at the last encounter versus FC Augsburg on Saturday, and we're looking forward to the match of the year so far versus the Königlichen Royal, I almost said Real Madrid. That's tomorrow night. But Richard, what happened yesterday wasn't really cause for celebration, was it? It was a bit like having a bit of beer.
it was a bit of beer, yes. So obviously it ended up in a 2-all draw, and I saw our team. I saw a team with a noticeable amount of self confidence, especially when controlling the ball. But I also recognized that there is a lack of determination to score. So it's
Hmm.
always seemed like the whole team is a bit inhibited, and the missed penalty by Openda was symptomatic for this observation, in my opinion. I think if you shoot a penalty, then shoot it with decisiveness.
Mm.
And the way Openda shot it felt like as if he was inhibited and anxious of making a mistake. It was like, oh my god, I don't want to shoot this thing wide by whatsoever. And then it was like, as I said, he was like anxious, and then he just, it was like a pass to Finn
Oh.
Dahmen, the goalkeeper from Augsburg, and it wasn't much left. So he would have saved this thing with his hands, and didn't. It wasn't necessary that he blocked it to the side. So
So
yeah,
it's fair to say that Openda was just missing real confidence, not determination, but being really confident and being sure that this is going to secure the 3 points and puts them back into the race for a Champions League spot, qualification spot. Is that pretty good observation?
yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
So
Shame.
it was like the 82nd minute, and if he scores there, it's 3-2, and I'm pretty sure then Augsburg wouldn't couldn't make it to come back another time.
Okay.
But there was another scene. So there was another scene when I felt like the same when Baumgartner came in and he had a nice dribbling alongside the penalty box from the left side and had the ball to his right foot. And to me, it seemed as if there was an open lane for just a glimpse of a second. And but he didn't take it and tried to pass to Openda, which was denied. And this was like another moment where I thought, okay, come on, boys, no, come take the shot, go for it, gets off a blast and try to decide the game here, but he was like handing the responsibility over. Yeah,
That is a clear sign of lack of confidence, isn't it? And that sheer determination of trying to force that ball in is sort of what we saw, in the first home game, second half versus Stuttgart. They tried to force, they just forced the ball in, and that's currently really missing at the moment, isn't it?
yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely
Mm.
correct. So offensively, this game is told enough. So let's take a look at our defensive side. And is Gulaschi responsible for both of those goals? There are voices in the social media that argues that. And yeah, I would say in an A game, Pete would have blocked the shot from Vargas to the far side or maybe around the post,
Mhm.
and wouldn't have make the opportunity for Teets to take the rebound. And an A game, Pete would have also saved the shot from Demirovic too. Okay, yeah, it was deflected a little bit and it was a blast from close range, so not easy to save at all. So, but I'm far from saying this save here is a mandatory.
Okay. So you don't think it's Pete? Pete shouldn't be in goal. I mean, should Marco continue with him, or should he switch back to Yanis?
No, this is now he decided so now that Pete is number one again, and I think he should stick with that decision. I think it would cause more havoc if you change back here now,
Mhm.
and so I think Pete has some upside potential. So we already saw what he's capable of doing between the goalposts, and I'm sure that he will not be able to reach this level again if he isn't able to play games. It's as simple
Yeah.
as that. He has
Mhm.
to play.
And it's also a valid question if Yanis would actually perform better. I think it would be a similar performance probably at the same at the moment in time. But what about our other key players? Somebody like Olmo, how was he performing?
I liked Olmo's performance, especially in the first half. He had this nice header after 18 minutes, which came from a crosser from Orban, and he took this header from around 10, 11 yards away, and it was nicely placed beneath the right goalpost. But Daman made an extraordinary effort to wrap this thing around the goalpost for a next corner kick. And Olmo was the had the assist for the 2-1 go ahead goal that came by Shesko early in the second half. And yeah, and some other good scenes too. So I think he's improving from game to game, and I'm damn sure that we will have a lot of fun games from here to come.
Hopefully, he stays without an injury. Stay healthy. Okay, but you don't sound to be too concerned now after this match. I know it was a prime opportunity missed to stay in touch or stay close to Borussia Dortmund. We're now 3 points away again, and Stuttgart are 6 points away. What kind of feeling? What do you think now about the rest of the season, the next few games?
So I'm looking from game to game, and in terms of Bundesliga, it's the next game is versus Gladbach.
Von Spiel zu Spiel.
Yes,
Katsching!
is versus Mönchengladbach. And although we looking into detail in the next episode, but I'm really pretty confident that we will be victorious in our next home game next Saturday, 6:30, um, in the top game in the Bundesliga. So if our team shows the offensively effort with some kind of more decisiveness, with some more willing to go for, just as you mentioned, as we saw them versus Stuttgart in the Hinrunde, then I'm damn sure that we will outscore Gladbach here, no doubt.
And there's another stupid question on my side. How are they going to regain their confidence?
That's a good, it's not a stupid question. It's a good question, and
Mm.
I have to admit I haven't really an answer for that. So
Mhm.
maybe we need some mental advice here. But the team has a team. I'm sure about that. The team has a mental coach.
But I think it's just positive results would really help because the team doesn't seem to be in the flow and it doesn't seem to be. I mean, they have to work for everything like everybody else, but in many cases they haven't rewarded themselves. Just think back to the Eintracht, the game versus Eintracht. You're the better team. You outplay them in many times. You create a lot of chances, but you lose. And then okay, two really difficult matches, and versus Union Berlin, it was the first time you kind of got back on track. However, not in a brilliant, convincing way. And the positive thing I can take out of this game versus Augsburg is they didn't lose. Now they could have lost, and we would have been back to square one. So at least we got a point. We weren't defeated. Dortmund is not too far away, so the season is still long. Everything to play for. And I think the key would be just to have a very positive performance versus Real Madrid. Not trying to get shot down. And I think from international games versus brilliant teams like that, you can take a lot of positive stuff away. But no, I'm sure we're going to talk about Real Madrid shortly. Is there anything else you'd like to add to this Augsburg match?
No, I think we wrap things up, and yeah, let's take a look ahead to the match of the year, round of 16 UCL.
Hmm. I'm a bit jealous because you're going to be there.
Mhm.
I'm not even sure where they're going to broadcast it over here in the US, and we'll probably be on the road anyway. But I keep my fingers crossed that you really enjoy it. So, yes, you looked at it in detail. So, do enlighten us. What can we expect tomorrow?
Introducing our next opponent, their ignorant check.
Okay, let's go. So Real Madrid, maybe the biggest club in the world? Question
Yeah.
mark. But anyway, indisputable, the most successful club in the world. 35 national championships, 20 times winner of the Spanish Cup, and of course, the most impressive number, 14 times winner of the UCL and the European Cup, respectively. Which is, by the way, 6 more wins than clubs from Germany combined. So,
Yeah, that just shows you how
mhm,
that long kind of tradition, oh, dreaded word, and success. Yeah, Real Madrid, that's top shelf, of course.
of course. So, do you know the year when they lost their last final, their last European final?
Oh, good
I
question.
give you a
No.
hint. I wasn't born. And I'm
Sorry.
not the youngest.
Sorry. Would it be like 1995? I don't know.
Mm,
I don't really know.
nearly. They lost their last final back in 1981.
Jesus.
Yeah. And since then,
We
they
had
went
color.
all the way 8 times.
We had color TV, by the way, in 1981. So
Yeah.
that's not
So,
that bad.
1998.
1981.
Yeah, 1998, 2000,
Ouch.
2002, 2014, 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2022. 8 more wins in the UEFA Champions League. And so that means, by the way, 5 out of the last 10 finals that were played were won by Real Madrid. So is there
Um,
anything just to emphasize how big, how successful this club is, and it's impressive how this club keeps this up over decades.
Yeah, it is unbelievable.
Yeah,
And nothing to add from our side, actually. I mean, you have other clubs which are kind of coming up, like the Citizens, the noisy neighbors, but they have a long way to go to match those trophies, those number of trophies, that track
if
record.
they ever will. So, but
Mm, not sure they're on a good way, but you got to sustain that. Yeah, you're right.
okay, let's take a look back. Not so much on histories, but on the ongoing season. And in this season, they are playing once again in top European tier. Maybe they are their own tier with Man City.
Mm.
And some numbers here to emphasize that in 24 matches in La Liga, they came up with 19 wins, 4 draws, and only 1 loss. And they lost in total only 2 games this season, and both came in away games at Atletico Madrid, 1-3 in the league and 2-4 in the cup. And in the group stage with Union Berlin, Napoli, and Braga, Real won 6 out of 6. And all of their away wins came by only one goal, 3-2 at Napoli, 2-1 at Braga, and 3-2 at Berlin. And in 2 of those games, the game-winning goals came late, in the 84th and the 89th minute, respectively. So that shows that this team is always keen on winning and always believes in themselves, that they are capable of going all the way, no matter how much time has gone off the clock.
To be honest, it sounds like the Werkself at the moment. They
Yeah.
win games at a very late stage. Um, well, just means you got to be at the top of your game and even better up to the 115th minute, so to speak, all the time. Wow. Impressive. Very impressive.
Absolutely. And most recently, they beat second place Girona at home with 4-0. And Girona, second place, by the way, had no chance at all in this game. They only managed to get 5 shots on goal and none of them on target. So they ended up in
Wow.
this top encounter in the La Liga with 0.1x goals. Jeez, I never saw anything like that.
Oh, okay. Well, go on. I'm slightly concerned about tomorrow, but I'm not there. So
But there is hope. I will show you. And
there is
just a
hope.
few moments.
Okay.
Yeah, there is hope.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Keep on listening, guys. There is hope.
Yeah, especially keep in mind that this win versus Girona is even more impressive because they're running out of center backs. So listen, Militao, number 3, out with a torn ACL until at least the end of March. Number 6, Nacho, out with muscle strain. Number 22, Rüdiger, out with a thigh injury. And of course, David Alaba out with a torn ACL. So this is like 4 starting defenders not available. So they had to came up as their center backs in this match versus Girona, with Dani Carvajal. So an impressive 173 centimeters tall, usually right back, and Aurélien Tchouameni, which is usually a defensive midfield player. So this duo had to play center back. And nevertheless, Girona had no chance at all. So this
They
is
still
because this
perform.
is, they control the ball. This is a passing machine, as you know it from La Liga. And so the whole team keeps you away from their own goal that is almost impossible to get into shooting positions. And maybe this also shows center backs are overrated. I don't know.
But if they are this passing machine, which we expected, I immediately think of the especially second half of Manchester City's performance at Leipzig. Do you think it's comparable, or is it even worse from our perspective?
No, it's not worse. I think it's comparable, and I think Man City is what, in terms of passing the ball and circling the ball around, is slightly better than Real Madrid.
Oh, okay, that's surprising.
Especially keep in mind that number 5, Jude Bellingham, will not be available.
Ooh, that's interesting news because actually I was looking forward to seeing him, or you were looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah, this is some kind of a little disappointment, but it definitely increases our chances to get something done here.
Is he suspended or is he injured?
He's injured. He has a high-grade sprain in his left ankle.
Okay.
And will miss about 2 to 3 weeks. So maybe we will even not see him in our second leg when we play Real Madrid early March.
But it may not make too much of a dent into Real Madrid's quality of.
It is still a high talented and high quality team, but Jude Bellingham stands out here because he scored in his first 21 games. He scored 16 goals out of 52 that he scored in the league. So that means nearly every third goal is scored by Bellingham. And this is a player even Real Madrid cannot match one-on-one.
Wow. Okay. So they're missing some center backs, but you think that's probably not an issue because they have shown that they can still perform. Jude is not there. Who else is going to be there?
Okay, let's take a closer look into this still amazing squad, and let's start with the goalkeeper. Okay, it's number
Mhm.
13, Andrei Lunin, turned 25 on Sunday. Happy birthday, belatedly. Ukrainian in the club for almost 6 years, came directly from Zorya Luhansk and was then out on loan to different Spanish clubs. He
Mhm.
produces outstanding numbers this season. He has 12 league games. He had a little injury in October, November, so this is the reason this number is not higher. So in this 12 league games, he had a save percentage from almost 82%, ridiculously
Jesus.
high.
Yeah.
6 clean sheets, conceded 6 goals only, and statistically avoided 5 more.
Wow.
Um, and I and I expect him to start and not number 25 keeper here because Ancelotti put Lunin back between the posts when he recovered from that mentioned injury, and
Mhm.
keeper is usually number 2. So
Okay.
yeah, not an easy task to put the ball into the back of the net when Lunin is between the posts.
True. So who else do we need to look out for?
Of course, in midfield, number 8, Toni Kroos.
Who's that
Um,
guy?
who's that guy?
Who
Um,
wär's denn da? Tony da.
Der Querpass-Tony. Yeah,
Oh God.
often decried as Querpass-Tony, but this is definitely not what he is, in my opinion. He's
No,
so good. He's
he's a
so
brilliant player.
so
Yeah.
brilliant. So good in controlling a game, settle things down when necessary, just to play this perfect time deep ball seconds later. And when asked to do his job in defense, he's not a tittle poorer. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, of course, Tony still an extremely good weapon in this whole squad. But don't underestimate number 15, Federico Valverde, usually lined up in right midfield.
Mhm.
Um, but he cannot be found anywhere on the pitch. And he's also so extremely good in reading a game, knows exactly when to press with almost perfect timing. And he's such an extremely good ball handler and prolific passer. Um, Number 11, I would like to mention Rodrigo, and he's an amazing ball carrier. So he's
Mhm.
the league leader in La Liga in progressive carries, what means that you need to carry the ball at least 10 yards towards the opponent's goal line.
Mhm.
And he's the league leader in shots too, with 68, and he shoots from every angle.
Mhm.
Sacrifices accuracy, only 33.8% of his shots taken goes on target, and just ended a 6-game dry spell without a goal in the last match versus Girona when he scored midway through the second half to make it 4-0. So
Mhm.
it seems like he's back on track too. And not to forget, number 7, this is the player I like most personally, Vinicius Junior, striker, number
Oh yeah.
2 next to Rodrigo. And I like him because of his decisiveness. So we talked about this in terms of our players, what I would like to see more. And every time he takes on, when he starts a dribbling, I see this decisiveness in his behavior, in his eyes. And when he goes into his tempo, it is so hard to stop. And often only thing that helps is a foul, and that often leads to free kick opportunities in dangerous spots. And there comes Tony Kroos back into play.
Yeah. A lot of admiration from your side here and a lot of respect. But it's does make these matches exciting as well because you do see these players live, and that's just the respect we have for other teams who are with high quality. Nevertheless, I think there's even more we need to look out for, isn't there?
So, man, I think I mentioned the most dangerous players here, although there's one legend I have to mention. Of course, number 10, Luka Modric. It doesn't seem
I'm
to grow old.
surprised I'm surprised he's still there. It's unbelievable. And by the way, he didn't have to go to Red Bulls New York.
No.
To make the link to another legend, but hey, that's a different story.
Hmm.
No, Luka Modric, he's been around for such a long time, and I didn't realize he's 38 now, isn't he?
Yes,
And he's brilliant.
38.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So why do
So
you still admire him?
because he is not not a usual starter anymore, often come from the bench, but when he comes onto the pitch, he is still a leader and he's still capable of getting things done when the rest of the team is struggling a little bit, just like Emil was for us.
Hmm. Okay. But in terms of the Real Madrid squad, you mentioned a lot of players that are great. Is there anyone that sticks out for you? Somebody maybe new who we need to watch tomorrow?
Maybe there, so
Mm.
he doesn't stick really out, but this is maybe some upcoming next star. It's number 24, Arda Güler.
Hmm.
We might see him late in the second half. It's an 80-year-old striker out of Turkey,
Mm.
and
Very
I
young.
I don't know why, but 7 goals in 32 games for Fenerbahce convinced Real to sign
Hmm.
him. And honestly, I haven't seen much yet. But when the Madrid front office does a transfer like this without sending him out on loan somewhere, then this must mean something. And
Hmm.
I expect him to come in midway through the second half. That's number 24. Keep an eye on him, guys. So, and I told you that there's hope, and yeah, there is really hope because I think this defense without the best players available will be an opportunity for us, and especially if Carvajal has to be the left center back again, and with Shesko on this side, there is a clearly yeah, advantage for us in terms of scoring goals with headers. And lately, this suits our team yeah, remarkably good. So we had two header goals versus Augsburg recently.
Hmm.
And as far as I remember, was this
Versus Leverkusen,
versus
and
Leverkusen?
also versus Union.
Yeah.
Šeško, okay, one was disallowed, but Šeško was a clear go-to player, and it has worked. It really has worked in the last couple of games.
Yeah.
But when you were talking, so this is we would be looking out for free kicks. You would be looking out for maybe going deep from the side down to the sideline passing it. Maybe Raum can do that. Corner kicks would be an excellent idea. Well, weapon maybe. But when you first talked about the passing monster or that Real Madrid is controlling the ball, so you don't get near their goal. I was thinking of, okay, does that mean that the only real chance we also have is similar to the match versus Manchester City, to be on the break counter attack?
No, not really. If you look into the numbers, at least, you will recognize that Real Madrid doesn't have an enormous amount of ball possession. So they're like around 50 to 60%, not like Man City when they're usually high
Mm.
above 60, almost 70% in each game of they play, and no matter what the opponent is. And Real Madrid is not that. So it seems to me that they're circling the ball around a lot, but with more force into the opponent's half.
So, in terms of hope for tomorrow's match, you mentioned one aspect. Are there more aspects that could help us tomorrow?
Yeah, we have Xavi, of course, is a very, very quick player, and with the ball to his feet, he is hard to stop even by this Real Madrid squad.
Okay.
And if he gets his things done a little bit better than he showed in the recent weeks in terms of getting your teammates into the right position and do better decisions in terms of when to shoot or when to pass and in which direction, then we will have definitely a chance here to score.
Okay, so this was a good summary of what would give us hope. So maybe you can summarize that into the keys to win for tomorrow, Richard.
Hmm. Um, I have to spoil a bit, and this time I think it's a key to draw. Um,
Okay, we're starting a new column here. It's the keys to draw.
keys to draw. So, first of all, we are unbeaten versus Real Madrid in home games.
Yeah, this is like we're clutching a straw here because last time when we beat them, that wasn't really their a top team, was it? But it was a beautiful match.
But still
Yeah,
an outstanding squad on the pitch. So almost like we will see
yeah.
tomorrow night.
Okay, okay. And I loved it how we were up 2-0 and 3-1, and the last goal just was in injury time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, yeah.
So key
Okay.
to
Let's
draw.
let's hold on to that.
Key to draw.
Let's on to we're unbeaten.
We're unbeaten, and please act with patience. So this is not a problem for us.
Mm,
And composure versus this passing machine. So
mm,
don't get into that. Don't fall into havoc behavior. So let
yeah.
them pass. Okay, it is hard to defend, but when we have the ball for ourselves, act with decisiveness and act with composure, especially in the final third, and then we will have definitely a chance to go out with a draw here.
And then my plea would be to everyone in the stadium who's supporting RB Leipzig, be patient as well. Do it like you've done it versus Union Berlin. Support the team for every little success they have on the pitch as well. Every great little action, support them. Be loud, but be patient. It is. It's a mammoth task that we have tomorrow, but something that they have earned. They earned the right to play Real Madrid. Then the last 16, and let's gain a lot of confidence for that to be able to get to the UCL qualification spot for next year. So that's just my plea. And in terms of who the hell is Marco Rosa going to send on the pitch? What's your lineup prediction for tomorrow, Richard?
Liebe Fußballfans, wir kommen jetzt zu unserer heutigen Mannschaftsaufstellung.
I think that we will see the third starting 11 back to back games because, I think this squad wasn't doing well versus Augsburg and would have come up with a win with a little more luck. So Gulaschi between the posts, Henrichs, Orban, Klostermann, Raum, Schlager, Kampel, Big Kampel. I didn't like Kampel in that match, but I didn't like Seiwald either. And so Haidar not around. We're running out of options here. So that's because I think we will see Kampel again. Xavi, Olmo in offensive midfield, and Openda and Shesko. Both of them are scoring and regularly.
Mm,
Can I say that? So scoring quite often in the recent games, so there's no reason to change here.
yeah, they know where the goal is. They can hit it again. They can score on a regular basis. It still sounds like a powerful and good team, to be honest. And it should be a brilliant match. So, you said these are keys to win. Are you predicting a draw as well?
Yeah, I predict a draw and I go with a 1-1 draw here.
I'm going to join you with a 2-2 draw because it's just 1-1 draw is just too boring. Let's go for a 2-2 draw. Yeah, I think this would be important, and everybody go there, be loud, enjoy. It's as long as we come out undefeated, I think everything is still possible for Madrid. We can hang on to hope over there as well, but it's the important thing at this stage is to build up confidence, especially for the rest of the season in the league. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Richard. That was a very good overview, and I wish you a lot of fun tomorrow.
Thank
Bring
you.
us bring us back some very good impressions, which we maybe be able to use later on this week. And to everybody else, have a very good time once you're able to. If you got tickets and you go there. Thanks a lot for listening. We really appreciate it. We would also appreciate it if you could subscribe to us on your favorite platform and leave us a review or contact us by email if you want to let us know how we can improve the pod. The email is talk@rbleglobaltracks.com. And you can also find us on Twitter at podcast_RBL. That concludes our little session for today. And that just means we're going to conclude with Auf geht's, Leipziger Jungs.